Hi, you're watching the Get Real podcast with Josh Kirnie, hosted by Glenn Curry. Please like, share, and subscribe. Now we're live.
We're
Streaming live.
Hey, everybody, this is Glenn. We're here at the H2O studio. Here it is the a Get Real podcast number 10 or 9. What are we up to?
It's number 10, I believe.
10. So we're in double digits here. We're at Public Square, high above Public Square. There you can see Public Square as we speak. Yesterday was snowing in the North Country. Today, it's not snowing, but it's still unseasonably cool for Memorial Day Friday. And I'm Glenn Curry, along with, of course, Josh Kirnie here from his Get Real podcast. And we're going to talk about the sixth sense today. Is that correct, Josh?
The 6 steps to change.
Oh, gotcha. Sorry.
And some people have a sixth sense when it comes to change.
Yeah.
And
Who does? Like you?
I think everybody does. They just ignore it. Some people are aware of it.
I think there is this. Well, I'll explain later on. I'm going to let you explain what the 6 steps to change is all about, and I'll interject my own feelings.
I wanted to tell you guys a story, and the Rays are winning.
Okay, you got talking to the microphone.
I want to tell you a story, and the Rays are winning right now, just so you know, Glenn,
Good.
about baseball. I want to talk about the first time I went to Kauffman Stadium.
Yeah, that was recently.
It was recently, and I was pretty apprehensive because baseball has just opened up, and it wasn't even opened up here when I was there in Kauffman Stadium in Kansas City, Missouri.
Right.
And outside of Kansas City, Missouri. And what I found was that it was a whole new set of circumstances you had to go through in order to, attend the game,
What do you mean?
that spectacle.
Because of COVID?
Yeah, all the rules have changed, like the way that they do parking. You can't just drive up and get a parking pass anymore. You have to pre-order a parking pass, and what you do is you show the parking pass on your phone, and you get a special pass. And when you get a special pass, you go down through this narrow road, and it empties into 2 big parking lots. One on the left is for Kauffman Stadium, and the other one on the right for Arrowhead. So you have these two big stadiums, right?
Yeah.
These 2 big venues, and you just have to choose where you want to park.
Isn't Kemper Arena over there too, or is that
Kemper Arena is in the West Bottoms, which is an old stockyard area where they used to house the cattle before they got on the trains. And now the stockyard is a very trendy place, but there's somewhere over there where you just cross the road and you're in Kansas. It's a very strange border.
It is, I guess. I'm unfamiliar
It's called
with
High V Kemper Arena.
But Kauffman Stadium, now known as, is it Kauffman Stadium or is it Royals? What is it? What's it called?
It's still Kauffman.
Still Kauffman. One of the few stadiums that are actually acknowledged the previous owner or the main owner of the Kansas City Royals. I don't know what his first name was, but he was the guy that built the stadium in 1975, I believe. And it's one of my favorite stadiums of all time.
I was wandering around one day and I found another way to get there. I went down 39th Street East.
Yeah, but isn't it in the country? It seems like every time I've seen Royal Stadium over there, it looks like it's in the middle of nowhere.
Every city in the Midwest is battling, except for Chicago, is battling the country, the impending rural areas. So you just step outside of the city and all of a sudden you're in farm country.
Oh, without a doubt.
So I did find that other way, though, is an artery of traffic that cuts right across the trendy area of Westport throughout a kind of nice area in the eastern part. And there's not a whole lot of nice areas in the east part of the city. And then all of a sudden, as you come over the crest of this hill, you see the lights from Kauffman. You can see the scoreboard. You can see who's even up at bat.
Nice.
So that's an alternate way. But,
So what did you learn, though? You went to a Royals game like a month ago or so, and you learned something. What did you learn?
Right. So when I got there in the traditional route, I found that it was a struggle to kind of acquiesce to the new information that would let us into the arena. I went to the ticket box, and now they have really thick glass, Glenn.
Yeah.
And there's really kind older folks that are running the ticket box, and they won't give you a ticket. What they do is they direct you to an app on your phone where you purchase a ticket, and they're really information now. So then you purchase the ticket and it's on your phone, and then you go to the entrance that is appropriate for your ticket, and they let you in by scanning your phone.
Okay.
So it's a firm departure from what we used to go through when we used to go to ball games.
But since then, the CDC, since you have gone there, have said that they lightened up on the mask mandates or requirements, if you will, in public. So do you think it's that way now? I mean, Texas is already up to capacity. They're not doing that right now in other states, including Texas.
I'm thinking that I'm going to check it out on Memorial Day. So also the thing is that last time I went, the mandates had been lifted, and it's as if they were never there. But also, remember, there were no mask mandates in Missouri to begin with. It was actually the city of Kansas City. So if you had a Kansas City address, there was a mask mandate. But if you're outside of the city of Kansas City, then you could just do
So
whatever you
why is
wanted.
that? Because cities, for the most part, are operated by the liberal left that just
I
don't
don't
want
know.
COVID-19 to disappear, I guess, no?
Oh, I don't know.
It's
I mean,
tough
it's-
to give that away.
Whatever
power up.
function it is, and what I'm not a doctor or anything, but whatever function it serves, it certainly seems to serve quite a function over and over again whenever they need it. So, gaining access to the stadium, to the venue, I got in there and my phone shut off. My handy Motorola 7 shut off, and I didn't know what seat I was in. So I just wandered around. I found my way to the third deck, and finally I asked an usher, I'm like, where do I sit? I don't know how to get back to the ticket. I mean, I gained access, but now the ticket I was using has just disappeared off my phone. And they said, you know what? Why don't you just find a place you like to sit and have a seat?
And where did you go?
I started on the third deck in the same section, and then because I like ballpark food, but I also have to be very careful of what I eat, I found some ballpark food and sat down. And the reason I wanted to go to the ballpark is I heard it was a good place to have dinner
Really?
or supper if you're in the Midwest.
Yeah, I mean, that's a lot different than back in the 70s when they didn't have restaurants there.
So yeah, it was very comfortable, and I sat down and I got one aspect of the ball game, and I could see everything. And it was a little chilly up where I was sitting, so I decided to change seats and find something a little more accommodating where I could still see and hear everything that was happening. And when I sat down, I got very comfortable, and was actually out in beyond the right field foul pole in the first deck,
Yeah.
and that was just a lot of fun.
Yeah,
I mean,
you sent me a video. I think that's where you were.
That's
right.
right.
Right side of the field.
these days, it's a much different attitude. It's a less competitive attitude than it was when I was coming up and watching games or playing games. It's not nearly as competitive. What it seems to be is just a collaboration of people celebrating, having fun, and enjoying the game. So it was easy to have fun while I watched and listened and took it all in. And then you can kind of depart when it's time to depart. It's good to take in a whole game, but
Yeah.
you don't always have to.
You didn't stay for the whole game?
I didn't because I had to get up early in the morning.
So how much were the tickets, if you don't mind me asking?
$14.
You told me that before. $14. That can even get you bleacher seats at Yankee Stadium. If you
I
want.
remember I went to old Yankee Stadium and I saw Jack Morris pitch a gem, and it's very odd, but I saw very few Major League Baseball games growing up, and I've seen Jack Morris pitch 3 times for the
Have
Tigers.
you really? Isn't that
Yeah.
funny? Jack Morris had a bad skin problem. Anyway,
Yet he was just a dominant pitcher.
yeah, he was, and he tried, and there was collusion against him and many others that tried to, try to leave the Detroit Tigers back, I believe, in the 80s or probably in the 80s, and
He ended up on the Blue
owners.
Jays.
The owners got together and through collusion, and they said no, don't work with these guys, and then he elected obviously to stay with Detroit.
Well, that's a nice paycheck when
Yeah.
you're a Hall of Fame pitcher, I bet.
But then you're absolutely right. He did go to the Toronto Blue Jays, and he won a World Series for them. So he has two rings, if I'm not mistaken, maybe 3.
84 and 92.
80, I don't know, because Toronto had 2 rings in a row, 92 and 93.
That's right. Against the Braves and the Phillies. So the
Not
thing
necessarily
was,
in that order. Oh yeah. The Phillies was 93, and then of course the next year was the strike year.
it was the Braves without Maddox, though. Let's be honest.
Oh, was that what it was?
Yeah.
They didn't have Maddox in 90.
No, he was on the Cubs.
Oh, right. But and they came back in that series and they won it. I mean, I think it was Ed Sprague had the big hit.
Ed Sprague played third base for the
base.
Syracuse Chiefs.
Did he? And Ed Sprague also was married to an Olympian. I think she was in what do they call that when they? Either she was a diver or she was a synchronous.
She was definitely a swimmer because he went to Stanford where he won the College World Series.
Yeah,
And
that home
that's where
run
they
was
met.
huge. That's one of the lesser known home runs that changed the World Series right there. Ed Sprague.
So now the tickets that I'm looking at for Monday are still vastly less expensive. What I wanted to mention about seeing Jack Morris pitch at Yankee Stadium was that's the first time I've ever eaten a $26 hot dog.
Yeah, is that how much it was? No,
At
come
old
on.
Yankee Stadium, yeah. The
$26
average
even
price,
back then. When you say old, I think of the old Yankee Stadium.
yeah, the one with the white weird fence in the back. in the Hall of Fame thing when they dramatically have people touch the Hall
Yeah,
of
right,
Fame
right, right.
guys.
Yeah. Well, they moved it behind
The
back in '76 at
the
least.
theater, the cabaret behind the Yankees is not my favorite thing, but some of the players were. So
Right.
so listen, it's a very easy switch when you want to switch and when you know that you feel a certain way. So, like for instance, there's a programmed up and down, an ebb and flow to emotion during baseball games. It's programmed by the songs and the lights and everything else how they capture your attention. And I think it's wonderful. I don't watch it for the competitive nature. I like to watch good baseball played,
Right.
like anyone else would. I like to see a home run.
It's been boring though in the last couple of years. Baseball's changed.
Well, the balls have changed.
Is that what it is?
It's true. So the balls are more lively now
Yeah. Well, if they're more lively, why is the league hitting no more than 220 right now?
because all they're doing is trying to hit home runs.
Yeah. Well, I agree. There's no doubt.
Trying to drop Willie Mays Hayes from
yeah.
Wesley Snipes from Major League.
Yeah. Yeah. Give him a curveball.
Forget
Oh
about
no.
that.
Yeah. Oh, that's why he's not in the league. All right.
You may run like Hayes, but you hit like shit.
I'm tired of this nickel and dime bullshit.
I'm gonna get that bitch on the phone.
Yeah. And he's walking, and Tom Berenger's like, oh my god, guy's walking around naked.
Everybody wants
Good
to see
movie.
the old
Real
man's
good movie.
Johnson.
Yeah.
So yeah, I subjected my family to that movie the other day.
Yeah, great movie. One of the best.
So it's a ritualistic thing too. I mean, for me, I was a terrible baseball player.
Were you really?
Yeah, I just couldn't get out of my own head.
So Hunter's better than you?
Oh, infinitely. He's an infinitely better athlete.
So
Physically. Now, the thing was that the difference I had was that I always felt like a bit of an underdog, and I was undersized until I was about his age. I was well undersized, so I used to have to fight really hard
Right. And
to do anything.
He's already 6 foot at least.
He's about 6'3".
And he's 6'3" as a sophomore.
Yeah.
He looks like Trevor Noah on top of that.
He's shaved his head. Not Trevor Lawrence, not Trevor
Noah.
Noah.
Trevor Noah.
Who's his mom?
My God. Trevor Noah. I can't
Who's his
stand
dad?
Trevor Nova.
Who can?
Well, Trevor Nova talks about how his mom had to dress up as a maid so that she could stay in the house in South Africa because it was an interracial whatever.
I don't believe one word
says.
that he says
I agree.
ever.
I agree.
Anyone with that is marketed through a British accent, I don't trust them.
Really?
At all.
You don't like Piers Morgan?
No, I think he's a piece of crap too.
I think it's inherently, it's ridiculous. Well, that's a bad Piers Morgan.
Him and his gun.
I hate about
stances.
his gun stand. But what he's been saying recently about what's her name there, Meghan, and
Meghan Merkel?
Meghan Merkel and Prince Harry. He was spot on, no doubt about it. And then of course Sharon
That's the
Osbourne.
problem.
Sharon Osbourne jumped on board and defended because they're both friends. And now, by the way, I know you don't watch The Talk. I like that. The Talk. That's good grammar right there. And the ratings have plummeted since she left.
So here's what I wanted to talk about. I want to open it with a little bit of baseball and some entertainment, and it's good that we do that. It's because this doesn't have to be that big a deal in effort, but in the long run, the result can be a big deal. And I want to talk about the 6-step reframe, the 6 steps you can take. And I'm going to start teasing this, and this can also be used, and we'll probably use this in class and chop this up and make it an unlisted video after we're done.
Okay.
After we celebrate the evening of June 2nd at 7 p.m. Now, the first thing you have to do if you really want change to happen, the first thing that will really, really catapult you into a new space is you got to stop beating yourself up. So you actually have to thank yourself for the way things were going before, because it was actually producing something you didn't even know was wrong until the present time, until you felt less comfortable than you should, or you knew there was a better way. So you can thank your unconscious mind for the help it's given you to this point.
Right.
And this is the key. And this is important for every change that you want to go through. So you thank your unconscious mind first. That might be the toughest thing. You have to admit to yourself that you can't shame yourself into change. And that's also can be a difficult thing. But once you have that and you agree with it and you're comfortable with it, everything will fall into place, because your unconscious mind will generate new ways based on the physiology we're going to talk about in just a moment, new ways to get your needs. And I like to say, probably because it's new and fresh for the next 7 days that you follow this process, that you've actually had this in order overnight, probably maybe while you're doing something else and you're busy, 3 new ways each day to meet your needs. So that's the second step of this. Those 2 things are confronted, and you know that they're there and they're true. And then when what you're asking for, the new result, feels a certain way, you can actually feel it in your body. And many people say that they feel it in their chest or their stomach, right? But just like everything else, like the baseball game was once this big, huge competitive thing, and now it's more of a celebration of the game. People want to see their team win, and they want to see their favorite players do well, but they're not going to go break the windows out of somebody's car that has an opposing team sticker on it.
Unless you're an LA fan. Los Angeles fan.
A lot of times. So you want to feel that new physiology of what it feels like to get what you want. You want to be able to feel that right now. You want to be able to just right now experiment with this as you watch this live or you watch this on Wednesday evening, and you do want to make a change.
Right.
So that feeling right now,
Make that change.
if that's a positive response, if that's something that's positive, so you have the new physiology of what's happening and the way it's going to feel when you have what you want. When you have the new thing happening, it's going to feel good. It's going to feel like a celebration, a positive response. And you'll allow that, the fourth step, allow that to grow if it's saying, yes, this is the new way to do it. So it's steps 1 through 4, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then you know you're on the right track when you have those things in place. So I do want to, there's a little bit of a caveat here. There's a place in here anywhere you can to just show appreciation for the way you did it before.
Okay.
There's a way to know that there's a positive intention to the way you're doing it before. And this is just to get this a similar result, a new way that's better for you. And that's all the 6-step reframe is. Now, the reason why we're going over 6 steps is because the 6th step is coming. And this is what all change is based on that we go through. So steps 1 through 5. And so are you going to the mall later on today?
No, why?
I'm just wondering. What's the mall like?
What's the mall like?
Yeah.
It's a place where people walk around and look at others.
No, what's the mall like now since it's opened back up? Is it masked or demasked? Or did they now Skewed is gone, and that was one of my favorite places to eat.
Oh, yeah. But no, what? No. People are still wearing masks, but not as many. I noticed in drugstores, I guess it's this misnomer, or perhaps they're, maybe it's accurate thinking, but they, when you go into a drugstore, you're around sick people, so you got to wear a mask. You walk into Walmart, you don't wear a mask. And so I don't know what's going on anymore. I wear a mask anyway. I don't want anyone bitching at me. Are you a Republican? Are you a Republican?
That's not. They don't say that to me.
You're one of them. You. Sorry. If you ever, by the way, did you ever see the movie Invasion of the Body Snatchers with not Elliot?
Donald
Gould.
Sutherland.
Donald Sutherland.
Yeah,
Right.
there's that meme of him going, oh.
Yeah.
It's very strange.
Yeah, great movie. Jeff Goldblum's in it. 1978, 79. Old movie.
So Donald Sutherland is known to take the cash payout. He's known for taking the cash payout for Animal House rather than a piece of the
Oh,
back
my.
end.
Are you kidding me?
So he got paid like $25,000 for that movie that made so much money.
It's my job. And then the
So-
unnecessary scene when he reaches up to get up to the top of the cabinet when he was with Debbie Allen, or whatever her name was. Remember that? It was unnecessary. We got to see Donald Sutherland's buttocks.
Well, then it was necessary.
Yeah.
It was necessary in order to see his buttocks. His buttocks.
Unnecessary. Look, you definitely got the Joe Namath look going on today with those glasses.
That's good. So here's the thing.
And it's
people
free.
people want closure here, so we're going to give them closure, and then we're going to cut, and we'll be done.
Okay, gotcha.
And we'll say goodbye until the next time, folks. We'll say goodbye, but first, what I want you to do is, with all those things in place that you just practiced, I want you to go ahead and take a pause. And if you're in a place where you can, remember, you want to be in a safe place if you ever use something that's hypnotic. If you ever really want to lock into us, you want to be in a place where you can actually focus and not be in any danger. So you want to be in a safe place, like not a moving car. You want to be able to be stationary and relaxed and comfortable, because in this place we're in now, and this next step, we're going to talk about the 6th step of the 6 steps. And that is for you to close your eyes or focus on the sound of my voice and imagine a time in the future that would be most appropriate. And you want to imagine a time that's most appropriate to what you were thinking of changing. And with the new physiology and the new way, I want you to go ahead and see how it matches up. And notice how you react differently now with the new feeling. And then when you're through that, you find a second time when there's kind of like a chaotic thing happening around you, things that aren't normal. You want to think of a second time when things are less than normal, when things are are extraordinary happening around you, like there's chaos, and you want to be able to notice how you react with the new physiology. And then a third time, you go out, when you get through that, you go to a third time, or you could go to a fourth time, or a fifth time, or a sixth time. But the third time is when something happens that's a complete shock that takes you out of the situation you're in right away, and notice how you respond. So steps 1 through 6. Agree with a positive intention. Thank your unconscious mind for the results you were getting up until this moment without shaming yourself. Notice your unconscious mind will create new ways to meet your needs. 3 new ways a night, if you'd like, for you to meet your needs. And some of those things are conscious and unconscious. Feel the new physiology grow in your body. Feel the way it feels in your body and in your mind and your hands and your feet. And then turn those feelings up and allow your unconscious mind to follow you through this new positive feeling by making it more intense. If it's better for you, then you want to test it against the future. So that is the 6 steps to change. That is something that we riff off of with almost everything that we do. And of course, there's many, many other things that come from that. But those are the roots of what will allow you to feel better about your current situation. And I don't want to say go Royals because they beat the Mets in 2015, but I'd love to watch the Royals play baseball again.
There you go. Well, folks, this was the 10th episode of the Get Real podcast with Josh Kirnie across from the aisle here. I'm Glenn Curry here high above Public Square, and we wish you a great night. And remember, these premiere every Wednesday. Is that correct, at 7 p.m.? Have you not gone back to that?
Every Wednesday, 7 p.m. Be there. Hi, you're watching the Get Real podcast with Josh Kirnie, hosted by Glenn Curry. Please like, share, and subscribe, and we'll see you soon.